Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the first ever Muscle Mami Club podcast. I am your host, Brie Aguilar, and I'm so excited to have you here. As mentioned, I have a very special guest with me today. And this podcast for me is truly just all about inspiring, educating, providing hope to women in and outside of the gym. And so, what better way for me to start this podcast than having the woman who truly did pave the way for me to be exactly where I am today and who I am today. So, without further ado, I would love to introduce to you all my mom, the original Muscle Mommy, Irma Gutierrez.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you, Brie. That was just awesome intro. Love it.
Of course, Mom. So I am happy that you're here. I'm happy to be doing this with you. And honestly, for me, it seems pretty surreal to be, looking at you and being able to do this with you. And there was just no better way for me to start this. And also with Mother's Day around the corner and it just passing, this is my kind of like salute to you too. Like, thank you for everything that you've done for me, sacrificed for me. And I feel like a lot of women will be able to draw hope from your story that I know. But I'm excited to dive deeper into what makes you, you as a mother, as a woman, um, and just as a caregiver, And so going back, what was life like growing up for you? Like, what did health and fitness look like when you were growing up? Did you have to like figure it out on your own? Like, can you give us a little rundown of that?
Well, first, hello, everyone, and welcome to Muscle Mommy. Well, how was health and fitness? Well, I had to figure it out on my own. I had many brothers and sisters, but no one was into sports. And I was the only one at first.
Mm-hmm.
So I belonged to Parks and Recreation, and I would play baseball, basketball, but there was no extra training. It was hit the ball, run. I was 7, 8 years old, and then I got into dancing and tried a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But then I found out I was very competitive. I love to compete. I love to win. There
Like
was
single sport
a single
things.
sport. I never have been a team player.
Yeah.
I'm by myself. I win, I lost, I lost.
Right,
And
right,
I won, I won.
right.
I did this. By the age of 15, I joined martial arts. And I did not know, they did not teach us that you have to stretch before, stretch after.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hurting my own body.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I remember they took us on a run. We jogged all around Woodlawn Lake, which is here in San Antonio. I couldn't jog. I was out of breath. I was like, oh, and I was like, why are you bringing us? I want to learn karate.
Yeah.
I came for kung fu.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you taking us running? It was a group of us. And at that time, it was all male. There were no women in there. There were no young girls. It was all men. And they look at me like I was a big tomboy or,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing here? And I remember the instructor telling me, um, Gutierrez, you're so small, you're so petite, and you're chubby.
Mm-hmm.
What? You're chubby. And if someone comes at you, everyone's bigger than you. If
Yeah.
someone comes at you, you have to run. And I said, why am I going to run? I'm learning martial arts. Why am I running? And he goes, because if they catch you, um, they can overpower you.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I'm here to learn to fight, to defend myself. No, you're going to run first. You're going to run first. And then they're going to be tired. So when they catch up to you, you're going to be ready to fight.
Yeah.
You're going to be ready. Okay, well, let's do it. And I was huffing and puffing and still, I didn't know you're supposed to stretch before, stretch after. And still, I was eating those hamburgers. I was eating that fried chicken before I would go in to work out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was every day. I did not know about nutrition. There wasn't, we didn't have phones to Google. We didn't have computers. All I would see was magazines. We never knew about salads. All we
Yeah.
knew is if there was lettuce, it's supposed to go in your sandwich with that white bread.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it's hard for the body to digest that white bread. And then having processed meats, okay, let's add another bologna, which is the worst thing you could have.
Yeah.
Coming home late at night from working out because I was addicted
Yeah.
to working out.
Mhm.
I was just so addicted. Oh, well, I already worked out. Let me have another one. And I was only hurting my own body.
Or it's like the why aren't you eating? Why
Yeah.
aren't you eating? Why aren't you eating? Like eat this. Like what are you doing? It
Yeah,
wasn't
what are
really
you
like
doing? You're getting too thin. And my family, I mean, it's like if you're eating less, why are you eating less?
mhm.
You're in a diet.
Yeah.
And I didn't like when a person would tell me, hey, you're a little bit heavy, you're heavy. And then you stop eating, and why are you not eating? Here, eat this,
Yeah.
right? So, anyway, so now I'm in martial arts. But the good thing was we did a lot of Pilates at that time.
Yeah.
We get on the floor, we didn't have the machines, but we would do a lot of leg work every day. Every day. It was like constantly. So I was there every day from Monday through Saturday, and then floor exercises. My abs were like abs of steel. But at that time, I did not like to show off my body. Let's say in bathing suits and swimsuits. So we'd wear the big t shirts over our bathing suits.
Yeah.
I wish I had that body now,
Mhm.
at my age. Well, not to show it off, but just, you know.
Do you think like looking back now, like you were really, I guess hard on yourself? For a lot of women, we can feel like, oh, like I look horrible, I look horrible. And then when you look back on who you were when you were younger, you're like, damn, no, I really didn't have a
Mhm.
horrible body. Like my body was perfectly fine. And do you think like a lot of what was in magazines at that point of time really impacted how you felt about yourself, or maybe lack thereof, like more I guess, how do I say this? Advocating for women. There was really nothing, right?
There wasn't. The magazines that were out there were slim, tall women. I looked through magazines and there was nobody my height. There were no Hispanic women in the magazines.
Representation, nothing.
The
Yeah.
only thing there was in magazines that came from Mexico were magazines that were like Playboy magazines.
Just more like unrealistic body
Yeah, the
types
women
for.
on the covers, like, what what is that? Yeah, but anyway, I never had low self esteem.
Hmm.
I've never, felt that I was less than the other woman.
Hmm.
All I knew is I could get there.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Nothing was going to stop me to get there. And I got there.
I think I'm just gonna pause really quick because that like, I feel like your mindset is exactly like what you taught me in who I am today and like how I do what I do. Like I know you've always told me like whatever you set your mind to, do it. Why not? Or like
Mm-hmm.
whenever I came to you about like my weight, or like um when I got really serious about basketball in like middle school. And I was like eating chicken and we would go to like Jason's Deli because we didn't really like know, but I was like, no, I'm not eating like carbs or like things like
Mm-hmm.
that, just going off of what I knew. And I lost a lot of weight. But for you, you always made sure to put me in a position to where I could succeed. Like it wasn't, I had dreams of being in the WNBA, right? But
Mm-hmm.
never once were you like, no, you can't do that. Like you were always like, okay, well, why not you? Like go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, like, sorry to cut you off, but I just feel like I took that to like, you know what, like my biggest supporter, my mom, like there is nothing that I can't do because that opinion is the only thing that matters. So, but it's unfortunate because I feel like not a lot of women have that. Not a lot of kids have that at home. Not a lot of kids come from supportive parents like that. And I know that's really unfortunate because you see that in how they carry themselves and how they conduct themselves. And, you know, um, I think from the minute I had Leo, I've always said, you are exactly who I want to like emulate as a parent. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how, because I never felt like I couldn't hide, like I couldn't talk to you about things. Like I never felt like I had to hide things from you. For whatever reason, like whenever I told you something, you weren't like hitting me with the chancla or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you were just very like, it's okay. Like, thank you for coming to me. You know what I'm saying? Like you just, I don't know. I don't know how you did it, but I just think who you are as a person like really did mold me into like who I am today. Like, did you ever think like how you were parenting was inspiring me? Like, did you ever like I don't know, like what led you to be the mom you were for me?
Well, what led me? It just came natural. I remember one time you got very upset. I don't know why you were upset, but at our house, where you remember, it was always quiet.
Hmm.
Where there was no shouting, no arguments, nothing. The house was always just nice and quiet,
Yeah.
very relaxing.
Let me just say, it was me and my mom growing up. It
Yes.
was just me and her. Um, my dad was in the picture, but not really in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's for another story.
It's another
But
story.
and that is what it is. But it was me and my mom growing up, and so it's just always been me and her. So go ahead.
Yes, okay. And the house, once again, was always quiet. There was no raising our voice. There was no reason to. Um, if you needed to talk to me, you always knew, come over here, or we'd be together watching TV.
Right.
But I don't know what happened one day, and you were very upset. You were upset, and I just, oh, whatever.
I think I wanted to run away for some reason.
Oh, yeah, that's where we're going.
Yeah,
And
I
I
think I wanted to run
remember
away.
you said, if you want, I'll leave. But you were very young. I don't know how old you were, maybe 8.
I don't know why I said
I don't
that.
know, but you said, if you want, I'll leave right now. I'll run away.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'll pack my stuff up
I'll
and
pack
go.
my stuff and I'll go. And I said, Brianna, this is your house. This is our house.
Mm-hmm.
There is no running away here. This is your house. If you run away now, you're going to run away from everything in your life. You're going to find it easy for an argument just to get up and leave. No, you stay here. You go to your room. You go and rest. And we'll talk about it later. Once again, this is your house. No one is leaving. I'm not leaving. You're not leaving. I remember you went to your room, and after a while, you made a paper airplane.
Oh yeah, I would write notes. I
Yeah.
would write notes to my mom whenever I would apologize because I was always very I guess good with my words or like saying
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah. So you had never raised your voice, but you didn't raise your voice, but just the way you said what you said, there was no need. And you wrote a note, and she made a little airplane. You made a little airplane, and you threw it in the room. And the airplane went straight. And I go, what is this? Mom, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I won't do it again.
I think I was watching you open it.
Yeah.
Too.
I'll never do it again. So I wrote her a note, went and slipped it under your room. And then we both came out and hugged each other while we both cried.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, Brie, this is your house. I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always be here for you. I've always told you. I'll always be here for you. That's what I'm here for.
Mm-hmm.
So if ever you're upset with me, we can talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no need to argue. There is no need to argue. If we cannot meet in the middle, I'm here for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always here for you.
I don't think there was ever a time that we didn't agree. You
Yeah,
know, I feel
that was at one time.
I feel like that's like how I handle things with Leo
Yeah.
now too. But you know, going back to like also like fitness, like you would always take me to St. Mary's
Mm-hmm.
and you would walk or we'd go to Woodlawn and
Mm-hmm.
you would do like the different like lunges and squats and I would be there just riding my bike
Yeah.
or like playing.
Mm-hmm.
But and I've talked about this before, but what our kids see is the good
Mm-hmm.
habits that our parents instill. And I know you didn't know a lot about nutrition, but you did know about moving your body and fitness. You
Yes.
had your I think it was Julian Michaels
Oh, yeah.
uh DVDs, and then
Mm-hmm.
at that time I think there was what was called Insanity,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like the DVDs that you would like put
Yeah,
in and
yeah.
the different things. So I remember YouTube wasn't even a thing at that time. So, or it was just coming out, and you would do that, and I would like watch you do that,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually started doing it with you.
Mm-hmm.
um Going off of that, like how important do you feel that was for you? Because I know the reasons I take care of myself now, whether that's for Leo, and mainly for Leo, right? I want to be better longevity, want to be there for him, be able to move. What was your reason behind wanting to make sure that fitness for you was a priority, being a single mom, right? Working and taking care of me, and wanting me to be successful. Like, what was your why for working out?
Well, I always wanted to be here one more day that I'm supposed to be here on earth. I just loved working out.
Mm-hmm.
I was addicted to it. I loved it. I loved how it made me feel. I had so much energy. Uh, even even now, I'll walk around. I'll do something. I'll start doing squats. I don't do them every day as I should, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the feeling of working out. I have control over my body.
Right.
As I'm getting older, I say, oh God, I'm glad I did this then. I'm glad, and now when I talk to you and you've trained me, um, Mom, you need to eat this, you need to eat that, and I'm just so grateful for you. I am grateful. I heard you earlier where your goal and you lost so many pounds, and I remember that I got on your program and you said, Mom, how many days do you want to work out? And I said, I want to work out 6 days. And you say, Mom, you want to work out 6 days, but you can't drink, Mom. You can't drink on the weekends. Then I don't want to work out. If I can't drink on the weekends. So then
I already know Saturdays are my mom's days to go
that's,
out. I can't ask anything else. That's her time to decompress and relax from
yeah,
the week. That is her time.
that is my
She's earned
time.
it.
That's my time. But I said, okay, Brie. You said, Mom, you need to count your macros. What are macros, Brie? Mom, look, Mom, I'm going to do a plan for you, and these are the exercises you're going to do. And you're going to do weights. You're going to go to the gym every day. Are you sure you want to go the 6 days? And this was a couple of years ago. And I go, yeah, I want to do the 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
But when I would work out before, we never did weights. We had the weights. There was the little area, but it was only men. It was full of men. They were all doing their weights. And when I would get close to there, they would look at me like, well, I was very young, but like, women don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing weights. So I would stay away from it.
Yeah.
So this was new for me, to do weights, to the exercises you gave me were new. So I did it. I loved it. It was hard in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't used to weights. And since I hadn't been doing weights, well, they were heavy for me. And I started light and started going. And I was just so proud of myself. Hey, from
I think you lost 23 pounds in
I
like
did. I lost
three
20,
months or
yeah,
something like
in
that.
3 months, 23 pounds. Um, my abs have always been there,
Yeah,
but they
they're
were asleep, right?
yeah.
They were asleep because I wasn't working them out.
Well, I remember I would like jump on you sometimes when I was little,
Hmm.
and you would always get very mad at me.
Oh,
And I didn't understand why, but I remember like you had the C-sections, but there was no instruction for
oh
your
no,
post care.
no. Yeah, I had had the C-sections, but it wasn't just that. It was when I had you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when I found out that I was pregnant from you. I
Mm-hmm.
did not know I was pregnant, so I was bleeding. I was bleeding and bleeding, and I just thought it was that time of month, but I had been bleeding like for 12, 14 days,
Right.
and I finally went to emergency, and they said, "You're pregnant."
Mm-hmm.
I'm what? You're pregnant, and it's better if you have an abortion. Uh, right now because your pregnancy is the baby's not going to live.
Right.
You're not going to make it through. I remember I was fainting. I just saw lights. I said, no, no, no. I wanted a baby
Hmm.
forever. At that time, your brother was already 15 years old.
Yeah.
And the doctors would always tell me, no, you can't get pregnant. You
You were
can't.
what, 36,
I was
37?
36, 37,
Yeah.
around, and then my age. They said, at your age, you shouldn't be having children. But I didn't know because I was exercising every day. Every day, I would be doing karate tournaments on the weekend. So I was never letting my body rest.
Hmm.
Later on, I found out one of my doctors said, hey, your body was under a lot of stress.
Hmm.
That's why you weren't getting pregnant.
Hmm.
You were overdoing it.
Yeah.
I never had that day of rest. I was not resting. So anyway, I remember, and then I remember ended up in the hospital. But
For like 3 months, right, prior to having me, and then three
yes,
months after.
3 months, 3 months before having you, and they kept telling me, no, 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 this is not good for you. Um, it was
Why didn't you like terminate that pregnancy? Like what did you have a feeling about like the baby? Did you just have like, no, that's not, I just can't, I'm not gonna do it.
no, I couldn't do that. I could not. I could not. It's I always wanted another child and I couldn't have it. I can't have a child.
Hmm.
And it would just make me sad. That was one of the things that would really make me sad. And I remember I would be washing the dishes. We're going back to another time. And I would turn around and I would see a child looking at me, right? Like a little ghost or something. Sounds crazy, but yeah. But it was only when I was washing dishes. So I remember I moved from that house to the house I'm in now. And I would see the same child. And I said, I wonder who that is. Why is this little baby always there? So as time went on, and I'm gonna have a baby, and this story is so long. This story is like forever. You have to call me up and meet me for a coffee, like for a whole year,
Yeah.
for this whole story because it was very long. I was losing you every
Hmm.
month. I was losing you. I would go to the ladies' room. I remember, and just chunks. Look, my hands are trembling. Uh, blood clots.
Hmm.
Just boom, 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 boom,
Hmm.
boom. Just coming out of my body. And I go, oh my God, I'm losing my baby.
Hmm.
Emergency,
Hmm.
emergency. I remember my
Jess.
my sister coming to pick me up and my mom to take me to emergency because the
Hmm.
ambulance wouldn't get there.
Yeah.
And and I remember that night waking up and the whole bed was full of blood. The whole bed was full of blood. And then it was crazy. So I was losing you.
Yeah.
But I was not going to give up. I was not going to give up. And so, like I said, it's a long story. You're here now. I thank God. There was a reason that you were supposed to be born. I've always said, we're all born for a reason. But I fought to keep you. I fought till the end. I remember the doctors had told me at the end, at the end, at the end, if it wasn't for you always exercising,
Hmm.
for you being addicted, as you say, to exercise, your heart was so strong.
Hmm.
I suffered a stroke.
Hmm.
I suffered seizures. Then I suffered another stroke.
Yeah.
They're in the hospital.
I remember you had to learn to walk, talk, write, everything
Yes.
again.
Yes, I remember the doctors. I have a bad headache. I remember the doctors would come in and they would ask me, um, do you know who the president is? Oh, I don't know who the president is. Do you know what day you were born on? I couldn't remember. And I remember telling my mom, Mom, they're going to come and ask me, can you write it on my thing with my name? Can you write um, the day I was born and write the president? And she said, okay. So the doctor comes in and he asks me again, and I'm laying there, right? And I pick up my hand like this, and I'm like, oh, you know. And they said, she's in bad shape. But they thought that I was all going crazy, right? So, anyway, back to the stroke, back to the seizures, back. Um, and I've always thought, why am I working out? I love it so much. Well, the reason was everything prepares you for something later in life. So I came to the conclusion that the reason that I was addicted to it and I loved it was to get me ready for the moment that you were born. Because if my heart had not been strong enough, if all that exercise, if I never did it every day, I would not be here for you. And that's my reason.
I think you if you're watching this or if you're listening to it, I feel like you could just tell the relationship my mom and I have, whether that was just formed through us just having each other. It just goes to show the importance of what being there for your kids or just for someone, no matter what, can really do and alter how they think about themselves, how they handle themselves, like in life, how they handle challenges and adversity and everything like that. Like, because of who you are, I have been able to fearlessly, like, how, like, fearlessly do what I want to do. And what I mean by that is like when they say do it scared. Well, I know I can do it scared because I know I have you behind me. I know I have you to support me and love me and be there for me no matter if I fail. You've always let me know like home is always home. And so I just love that your journey, it's so, and I know there's so much more. There's so much more to what makes you you. And I wish I could just like scream it from the rooftops, but when people see me, they do see you. They, and I hope they see you because I am from you. I am a reflection of you. I was raised by you. And I've always said, like, strong women, may we raise them, may we know them, may we become them. And I hope that one day I will be half the mom, half the woman that you are to my son, to people around me, making them feel loved and supported as you've done for me. And I love you. You're strong, you're amazing. And there's really just no better way for me to start this podcast than to take it back to the person who really did pave the way for me to be great, to fight for other women just like you fought for me.
Oh, how sweet.
And on that, what advice, before we end here, would be what piece of advice would you give a young mom navigating, life, knowing what you know now, what you've been through? What would be one piece of advice that you would give, you know, um, to moms just trying to figure it out, to moms working out? Yeah, what would that be?
Oh, wow. There's just so much. But one, love yourself. Love yourself. There's only one you. Even though you're in a big crowd of people, there's only one you. Love yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you so much. Tell yourself you love you. Don't pick up your self esteem. Be out there.
Like, don't play small.
Yeah, don't. Make it known you are there. Walk into a place with your head held up high. You love you. People will notice.
Mm-hmm.
If you need help, reach out just by talking to a friend. You're not in this alone.
Yeah.
You have a community. They're out there. All you need to do is ask, is reach out. There's someone there for you. And that is what you do. You're there. You're there. You're there to help. You're not all about you. You're here for everyone. So hold your head up high. Love yourself. The more you love yourself, the more you can help your children. The more you can help your friend. Show them love. Show them, just love yourself. If you're going through something hard, hey, hold your head up high. What's that song that says, hold your head up high, put that lipstick on, and boom, let's get out there. You know which one, right? Every time we listen to it, we put it up loud.
Maren Morris, that one?
I don't know. It's country.
Girl. I think it's called Girl by Maren Morris.
Yeah, I don't know, but I love that song.
Yeah. That's a good song. No, that's really good advice. I feel like that's exactly how I conduct myself, and a lot of people just need to be reminded of that, and I'm pretty sure you just reminded a lot of people, because when you say hold your head up, I literally just did it unknowingly.
Yeah.
And you give me the confidence to be who exactly like I need to be for those around me. And I love you, Mom. I appreciate you.
I love you. I'm proud of you. I always tell you, I want to be you. Don't I always tell you? I want to be you all the time.
Yeah, like in Dynasty when Fallon's mom reconstructed her face to look like her. I was like, that's my mom.
That's on the next podcast. You're gonna see me all pulled and
exactly
you
like
look
me.
like Brie, but older. But thank you for having me, and thank you so much, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day, and love yourself, just love yourself,
period.
Love yourself.
Wow, you guys, what a way to start this journey with you all. Hearing my mom share her truth, her strength, her sacrifices, and her heart reminded me exactly why I started the Muscle Mami Club in the first place. This episode was a love letter to women who came before us and a reminder that we all carry the same power within us. If this conversation touched you in any way, made you think of your own mom or any woman who helped shape you, send this to her. Tell her thank you, and tell her she's a muscle mommy too. And don't forget to follow the podcast, share it with your girls, and leave a review if you felt something today. You being here means everything to me. I'll catch you on the next episode where we're diving into starting over for the last time, my personal journey with 75 Hard. I promise you there's a lot of good things in there. You do not want to miss it. So until next time, and like my mom said, keep your head high, love yourself, and even when times get tough, you are stronger than you know, because strength looks good on you. I'll see y'all next time.